Hi, I'm Tom Marino. At Cone-Resnick, we believe that all citizens need to be informed about the issues that affect their daily lives. That's why we're proud to support the programming produced by Caucus Educational Corporation and their partners in public television.
This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Meridian Health, taking care of New Jersey, Felician College, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, Cone-Resnick, Accounting, Tax, and Advisory, where forward thinking creates results, Investors Bank, the New Jersey Education Association, and by the Ohlendorf Center.
This is One-on-One.
When you first heard that they were doing Charlie Rose and Gayle King, didn't you go, what?
People like laughing at others, so I don't mind if the other is me.
See, you go right into the character. That's what it is.
I'm bringing families together a half an hour each week. Man, I'm doing something special.
And so I do feel successful.
Hi, I'm Steve Adubato. I can get that. Hi, I'm Steve Adubato. Welcome to the Tisch WNET studio here in the heart of Manhattan. Let me introduce a gentleman who is no stranger at all to the PBS audience. He is Sreenivasan, who is the anchor of the PBS NewsHour Weekend and also senior correspondent, PBS NewsHour. How are you doing?
Good.
You know, at PBS, we're taught to say our names.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time.
Slowly at first, and then you can pick up speed.
You love what you do.
I do.
Because?
It's a license to stay curious. I mean, you can go talk to, captains of industry, people in power and political offices. You can talk to homeless people. You can talk to activists all in the same day. If you're not a curious person, don't go into journalism because it's not there for the fame. It's not there for the money. It's just, you just got to want to learn things. So sometimes I get to talk to fascinating scientists and, I say, well, tell it to me so that I can tell it to somebody else, So they start to speak in normal speak and not science speak. But in the process, I pick something up.
And the NewsHour, for those because you're public broadcasting, the NewsHour, the culture of the NewsHour during the week, and then let's talk about the weekends, which is fabulous on the weekends. Great during the week, but I'm so excited that we have this energy on the weekends as well. Yeah,
we're the NewsHour, at least for the last 35, 40 years, has been the only place on television where you can find intelligent, informed people disagree agreeably about matters that matter night after night. So we're going to miss the Justin Bieber story completely, but that's intentional.
On purpose.
On purpose, right? We're going to miss a lot of sort of...
Lindsay Lohan, go somewhere else.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know. I'm not a news snob. I just think that the E! Channel does a great job with that. So let them, right? If you want to find out the latest on Tiger Woods, watch ESPN, watch the Golf Channel. We might not be the place that you find that information from, but hopefully if you watch us for a week, just like if you listen to NPR for a week, you get a little smarter. You say, here's what's going on in the world. Here's why it matters to me. And so now to do that on the weekends was kind of a natural transition. I mean, because the news doesn't stop on Friday night at 5 o'clock when the news editors and everybody else goes home, right? So there have been events in Ukraine, in Syria, and we've been following that. Or, there might be things that happen in China. There might be things happen all over the world, but also here in the United States. And we should cover that with the same kind of objectivity, or at least a fair-mindedness that we have been for years.
Tell us about your background.
So I came to the United States when I was a kid, probably about 7 or 8, and every summer they'd ship me back to India. It was a lot easier flying to India back then because my parents would literally walk up to the gate, find some other Indian people that looked like they were on the same plane. Hey, can you watch my kid? Right?
Are you serious?
Yeah, totally. Pre-9/11, you could do that, right? So, and I would get back and forth there, and then the turn happened somewhere when I was a teenager, and then somebody comes up to me with their grandmother, say, hey, can you watch her and make sure she catches the right flight in Frankfurt, right? So, I've been kind of bicultural. And then I bounced around for work a lot. So I was in the Pacific Northwest. We immigrated to Seattle. But then after that, I worked in Yakima, Washington, Raleigh, North Carolina, San Francisco, was in New York once, then went to Dallas for CBS, and went back to New York, and then to DC, and now I'm back in New York. So you see this New York theme coming back and forth.
The PBS piece for you, though, because you know commercial television very well. Biggest difference for you between PBS, our world of public broadcasting, and the world you knew before?
It's just that we have time. We have the luxury of time. I mean, I worked down the street from the Tisch studios here, and I still have friends at ABC News, and I've worked at CBS News, and I'd be lucky to get 90 seconds, maybe 2 minutes if I could really twist an arm. At the NewsHour, most of our stories start around 6 minutes. So that's to the networks, that's a mini doc, right? That's something you get commissioned to do. So we have that luxury of time to try and help our audience understand in a way where we're not rushing our guests. We're saying, you know what, go ahead and finish your answer. Go ahead and finish your thought, because it's not just about us getting the soundbite to make the evening news tonight. So that's a very big difference. And I think also at this point, we're one of the last places, you know, with just recently there were the news Emmys, news and documentary Emmys. PBS won more than any other network, but you should have seen all the competition was 60 Minutes pieces, 60 Minutes pieces, more 60 Minutes pieces. But when you combine Independent Lens, POV, I think Frontline took home 4, Need to Know, which was a show out of here, took home 1, right? I mean, it's amazing because, and every single one of those people, when they got on stage, and we didn't pay them to do this, they just said, PBS is a place that still can take these risks, and we still have the luxury of time, and it was fantastic to see.
The digital world is something you know very well. The other role you play, talk about the digital role that you play over at the NewsHour.
So I've been the director of digital partnerships, which kind of makes me a little bit of a trend spotter and trying to look at what kinds of tools are out there that can help us tell stories and help us get those stories into the hands of people who used to be our audience but now can be our champions, right? So I think that we have a very big challenge in the coming years to make sure that our content, if we've taken all this time and energy to make something wonderful or beautiful or something we're proud of, well, how do we get it into the hands of people and how do they consume it? In this day and age, you can see people walking down the street looking at their cell phones, or they're on the subway and they're looking at a tablet. You know, I mean, they're taking it where they want it and when they want it. So we have to be better about distributing our content, and then we also have to be better about figuring out, how do I get this into the conversation that's already happening, where this is relevant, where it's not spam. I'm not just trying to say, hey, I did this story, but there are
Hey, look at me.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is not compelling.
No.
But rather instead of, hey, look at me, what is compelling?
You're already interested in this. Here's something about this that you might not have known, right? So where there's the conversation happening, whether it's in a Facebook group or whether it's on Reddit, whether it's on Twitter, you know, if there are people opting into following a conversation, maybe this is the right place for that. And then let them run with the ball and let them share it with their family and their friends. And frankly, over time, that's going to add up to a lot of views, if that's what you care about, but it's also going to help build a community. And that's something that
build a community.
Yeah, and that's something I think that public broadcasting has been doing for a long time. And you see all of these network TV shows, they're trying to build community now, right? So why is, you know, the hashtags on Scandal, why is that so important? I mean, ABC recognizes that there's very few reasons that you ever have to come and watch live TV anymore. And that's a very scary proposition for people who make content and say, okay, General Motors.
Because of advertising?
Exactly. They want to be able to say to General Motors or to whomever, General Mills, say, I can deliver you X million eyeballs at 7 p.m. on Tuesday night. Well, if everybody's getting it on their phones and their iPads whenever they want it, maybe those advertisers wouldn't pay the same kind of money.
But Harry, let me ask you this. Maybe this is dangerous to say this in public broadcasting, but I'll say it anyway. For those of us who are involved in public broadcasting and also have to be involved not just on the broadcasting side, the journalistic side, but are involved in bringing in the dollars from the foundations and corporations, is that the same challenge for us? While we are not interested in ratings per se,
right,
because there are so many other platforms for people to see us, isn't that a challenge for us because we're telling corporations and foundations, hey, this is our audience, but our audience is being bifurcated?
Yeah, our audience is being sliced in 100 different ways. And I think that, again, it's the goal, it depends on what you're sort of selling to the foundation, so to speak, or the underwriter or whomever it is.
We're not selling ratings.
Exactly. They're not. What maybe the conversation is about is the material that you're interested in and we're interested in impactful in the community, right? Is there a reason that people are talking about this and thinking about this, and can we maybe prove that in a way that the commercial networks
no matter how or where and how people get it, right?
Exactly, exactly. So it doesn't necessarily, our value proposition doesn't need to be, I mean, I work on a broadcast program, right? I'm very happy to have any broadcast viewer tuned in at 6 o'clock at night. No disrespect, I'm glad you're there. That said, how do I reach all of the other people that I couldn't get to at 6 o'clock at night because they were coming home from work, or that's just not how their schedule works? And if I get my story or that story into their, I don't know, their Facebook feed the next morning, right? I mean, for example, you know, obviously very commercial product, but Jon Stewart, you know, I don't watch him at 11 o'clock at night. it's usually when something's really funny that happened, the next day, right, it finds me. It is forwarded to me, it's whatever, right?
Someone said to me the other day, oh, did you hear about Stephen Colbert making fun of O'Reilly, Bill O'Reilly? And I missed it on the show, but all I did was take out my iPad, clicked Colbert making fun of O'Reilly, then O'Reilly saying something back,
right.
And I didn't see it when it happened. I saw it when I wanted to see it.
And there's a generation of people coming up who don't get must-see TV. Remember that whole idea of must-see?
Thursday night.
Yeah, Thursday night.
Seinfeld.
Well, that's right. That's right. That's a generational gap. Because NBC knew that it could put anything it wanted between Seinfeld and ER, and it'd be a hit. And then they had Frasier, and they took Frasier out, and they made that the anchor on Tuesdays. Right. But there's a group of people coming through college going, why?
Well, even though it's not must-see TV, can we let people know when they must see you?
Oh, my gosh. So it depends on which markets, wherever, but it's both on WLIW and 13 on the weekends. So Saturday and Sundays, I anchor the show, and then obviously all during the week.
Come on, how about NJTV?
NJTV as well.
Come on, we're on Jersey side. Come on!
LIW, NJTV, and 13. I forget all three brands sometimes.
Listen, Hari, I want to thank you and appreciate the work that you and your colleagues do every day of the week that make all of us look terrific in public broadcasting. Thanks so much.
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
You got it. Stay with us from the Tisch WNET studio here in the heart of Manhattan. We'll be right back right after this. I'm Steve Adubato. See how I got that out?
Perfect.
Right back.
To see more one-on-one with Steve Adubato programs, visit us online at steveadubato.org. If you would like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Steve Adubato PhD and follow us on Twitter at Steve Adubato.
We are pleased to welcome Pat Kiernan and Rita Cosby, co-host The Ride Home, 77 AM, WABC New York, heard every day from 5 to 6 p.m. How you guys doing?
We're well.
Yeah, we're fabulous. The hour flies by. We're having a ball.
Yeah, it really does go quickly when you're talking that short a program on the radio. I'm on TV for hours, and that's a longer stretch, but the radio is fast.
And the two of us, we're news pros, so we talk all the time. We play off each other, and there's no shortage of news. It's like, wow.
Chemistry right away. By the way, New York 1, you hang around over there?
I do mornings on New York 1 on TV. I've done that for 17 years. The radio thing is newer. Rita and I have been together just since the beginning of the year.
And people know Rita from MSNBC and Fox and a whole range of other places. Chemistry immediately.
Well, because as Rita said, we both know the news, and we bring that journalist frame of reference to everything we do.
And we have a lot of fun. I think when you do a show together, I'm sort of, I guess, his second wife in some ways. I haven't told his first wife, by the way. But we'll get to that.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, maybe I'll hold on. But we have so much fun, and I think because we're both so instinctively news junkies that 5 minutes before air, if the story changes, we instinctively sort of know what to do. We play off each other well, and I think that makes it so much easier. You don't have to say, hey, gosh, we should lead with this story. We both know and love it.
Yeah, there's a level of comfort that you know that you can change gears at the last minute, and, and everybody's going to be along for the ride on that.
It's so interesting, and people talk about preparing, and we prepare for these programs, and it's...
We were supposed to prepare for this?
Yeah, nobody told us this.
Well, it's clearly...
I didn't know we were going to be grilled by Steve Adubato. I had no idea.
Don't worry about it. It's preparing. My job is prepare. But what's interesting is because I have filled in on radio.
And done a great job, by the way. I've had you on as a guest. I love it.
Yeah, well, but when you're hosting, it's so interesting because when I used to get ready to host on radio, I got my notes and they go, no. Callers, quick, react, respond. And I'm thinking, preparing for radio is very different than what you think it is. Yes, you have to be aware, but can't you prepare too much, be too structured in your head, and not be spontaneous and responsive enough?
That's a good question. But I will find, because our show, The Ride Home, is really a fast ride, and we don't take callers.
Yeah,
we actually play off each other.
I mean, there's a lot of news in the hour.
And there's a lot of preparation. I think ours is a little different in that regard because we are, constantly seeing what's happening in the news, constantly trying to add layers, make it interesting, make it new. Both of us, want to make it 110% great. And I think for that reason, we are doing quite a bit of preparation. But we also know, hey, 5 minutes before, we might have to not have a single script in front of us or a single idea in front of us because something's broken.
But to your point, it's different from television where the whole hour might be set up in the teleprompter. We'll interrupt each other, we'll add to the other person's thought, and that gives radio an energy that we don't always have. have.
Talk about
and
timing
on TV.
between the two of you. Talk about the timing.
I get all the time, and then if there's something left over, I give it to Pat.
Is that the plan?
That's the way. You know, you're married. You're married. You know how it works.
Hold on. Do you go along with this, or do you don't even have a vote?
What? No, I don't know. It seems to work out. It seems to work out that we share the time. Sometimes I come back from the commercial break. Sometimes Rita comes back from the commercial break. It's about 50-50.
Yeah, maybe, and some days,
maybe 55 for Rita.
Maybe 56.
Yeah. What I'm curious about as well is when I've listened to the ride home, and it does go quickly, is that while you don't have callers, you have guests. Mm-hmm. Those guests, people, because you have producers, you have strong producers, but both of you have a strong hand in who you want. Fair to say?
Very much.
Yes, we're very involved in that and have a sense as the day begins, who we would like to get, whether they're available or not is another question.
Because you are news junkies, if you will, know the content, and because you have great Rolodexes.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. We know, gosh, okay, this story's broken. God, if we could get A, B, C, or D, and sometimes we end up getting all of them, and it's a full deck, and you go, okay, well, who do we take out? That's a good day. And then other days you go, gosh, this suddenly has broken. That's the joy also of news, because something is always changing. And especially if you look at the tri-state area, there is so much going on, especially these days. I mean, one day we're covering ISIS, the next day, we're talking about Governor Cuomo. I mean, there's so many different layers.
Let's talk about what connects. Because even though it's a tri-state audience program, there are national and international topics. So Pat, let me try this.
Yeah.
Are there personalities, let's say in the tri-state area, that if you talk about them, no matter when it is, they seem interesting to your audience?
Well, there has to be familiarity, right? I mean, you can talk about Governor Christie and Governor Cuomo and Mayor de Blasio and know that everybody knows who you're talking about. There could be a fascinating story in one of the suburban communities that everybody outside that community has a harder time relating to. So we do try to sometimes choose through that filter that if it's happening outside the city and outside the state governments, then you got to get a little more creative and make sure that everybody can relate to the story.
Sorry for interrupting. Because I'm a Jersey guy, what makes Chris Christie interesting?
He's real.
What do you got?
He's so real. And that's what I love about him, because as someone who was in Washington for many years, too, you remember I covered White House for Fox News. I was a senior correspondent. I'm so used to, all of us are used to these canned politicians.
Yeah.
And he's fascinating. He's real. He says what he thinks, sometimes more than he would like. But he's a joy to cover, and he's straightforward, and he's fun. I mean, I wish everybody had that sort of larger-than-life personality. It's wonderful.
Yeah, well, by the way, I don't mind plugging the fact that we have an in-depth conversation at the New Jersey Performing Arts Center, a sit-down in front of several hundred guests with Governor Christie, and it will be as engaging and interesting.
Unedited. You always have good stuff with them.
Unplug Governor Christie for 1 hour.
Love it. You could do a whole day.
I love that he will sit down with you for that. I mean, one of our goals in the program has been to convince Andrew Cuomo to actually do some interviews.
What's the difference between the two of them in terms of public persona? How do you see that, Pat?
Everything.
Yeah.
What everything?
Total opposites.
The personality is different. The way they deal with, particularly in the for our lens of how they deal with the media. It's just Andrew Cuomo loves to control everything. Chris Christie likes the fact that sometimes he just gets to speak off the top of his head, and if not everybody likes what he says, that's their problem as much as it is his.
Andrew Cuomo does not like to mix it up.
Andrew Cuomo doesn't, especially in the last few months, doesn't like to answer questions from anybody.
He's much more reserved.
And I mean, this is one of my concerns about politicians these days, is that they don't sit down in front of everybody and just take questions and converse with them. They think that sending out tweets and sending out emails with a canned statement substitutes for a conversation like we're having right now.
What about Mayor de Blasio?
You know what? He's an interesting guy. I think the grade is yet to be given to him. I mean, I think he's done some very extreme things in the city. I'm not sure if it's for better. But he certainly has made it interesting. I mean, talk about a contrast in the last mayoral race of who all the candidates are. And every day there's some interesting battle. And for us, I also think it's interesting. We've done the stories of the de Blasio versus Cuomo battles, even within the party. And I've even said this on the air. I think that he's aiming for higher aspirations than New York City.
You do think
I do. I do. I absolutely do. I've been told that, actually, by a number of people close to him. That I absolutely do think he's gearing up. And I think maybe the next election, if we don't see a Hillary Clinton or don't see somebody else, we could see, believe it or not, Look, there was a guy named Barack Obama who was offered to me years ago for an interview, and I think myself and nobody else took him because it was like, who's this guy?
If you rewound by a year, the thought of that would be preposterous.
Right, but now you go, wait a minute. You know, I'm not saying for sure, but I think he's trying to prepare in case.
We talk personalities. Let's talk, by the way, before we move off personalities, Hillary Clinton, a fascinating figure to talk about.
Get on with it.
Well, get on with what? By the way, we're doing toward the back end of 2014, so we'll see what we're talking about getting on with. You're saying just do it? Pat, you're saying just do it?
No, he's talking to you personally.
The long dance about are you running or are you not running?
You're saying stop fooling around.
I'm tired of it. It's gone on longer than the Derek Jeter retirement went on.
Yeah.
Oh, now you're going to criticize. Hold on.
Do not.
He's going.
Pat Kiernan,
I'm a big fan of your work, but do not criticize that long goodbye.
Come on. It turned out fantastic. That last game at Yankee Stadium.
Okay,
so it was a storybook.
But he had lost me up until then, and then he won me back twice over with that last performance.
See, I'm a big Derek Jeter fan, of course. You know, I'm a woman.
As am I. As is our president, Shapiro. Do not say anything about Derek Jeter and the Yankees.
Great. And by the way, I like seeing a clean-cut athlete out there too. To me, that's great.
There are those.
There's nice to have role models in the midst of these days.
How about if you want to talk about A-Rod? Doesn't that get calls too?
Yes. Oh,
no, you don't take calls, but you did. But
yes.
But that's
I can dump on A-Rod. Can I not dump on A-Rod?
Yes, you can definitely dump on him. Definitely, we'll all jump on him.
Shifting gears. The topics. All right, I'll get away from sports. The ISIS thing, terrorism, and this show will air for a couple months, which scares me because you just never know what is going to happen. The topic of terrorism. Yeah. A, does it get the reaction no matter when it is? And B, do you avoid in any way talking about it?
I think we have to talk about it. I think our story reflects what the most important stories of the day is. And if it is something that's happening, it certainly is. People care about security. We're here in New York City. We know it's the #1 terrorist target in the world. And I think we can't deny that it's out there. Of course, you know, you always worry about, are we giving too much attention to certain things? But I think when you talk about safety in people's homes, that is top priority. I think terrorism is an important story, and people are very fascinated by it. They're glued to it because they're concerned, and rightfully so.
But there's a way to do it without trying to
not
cripple
scare.
the city, right? I mean, you see that sometimes.
It's that balance. You don't want to feel like you're putting them in paralysis.
Scaring everybody, and here, #1 terrorist target. You can have an intelligent discussion about that and be prudent about what we're doing to keep the city safe, without trying to bring the city to a halt.
Okay, throw another topic at you. Tell me if this is engaging or interesting. Getting people to talk about, or not people to talk about, getting people to listen to and be engaged by talking about gridlock in Washington and how nothing ever gets done, or have people said, all right, so tell me something else that's new.
I think they care about politicians who aren't doing their job, whether it's in Washington or whether it's in the tri-state area. I mean, you know, when everything was happening with Malcolm Smith, when things are happening.
You're talking about legislator Malcolm Smith here in New York.
Yes, and of course also the Moreland Commission. People are fascinated by that.
Take a step back, devil's advocate. If people want less government doing not as much. I know this sounds crazy, Pat.
Yeah.
But if government is gridlocked.
Yeah.
And it's not doing much, isn't that what people want?
Yes,
the problem,
but they still want
the problem
effective.
is that there's always an election. The election cycle is so frequent that nobody in this country ever makes a long-term decision, because there's always somebody else's election coming around the corner, and nobody makes a decision on a 4-year time frame or a 10-year time frame. They just make a decision on what they think will keep them in office tomorrow. I mean, there's a big story about the Amtrak tunnels in and out of Penn Station in terrible condition. We knew this. Nobody's doing anything about it. Nobody does anything about infrastructure.
You get people excited about that?
No.
Why not?
Well, you can try. It doesn't stop me from booking guests and that, but it's hard to get people excited about that.
I don't think it's like topic #1, but I think you can convince people it's important, because it is, as Pat is stressing. If you say, look, you're spending X money. What's happening to your money? What's going on? You elected this person.
How many urban planning engineers have you booked? How many urban,
I try to avoid them.
We talk to urban planning engineers.
You probably do more than a lot of people.
Yes, because we're public broadcasting. If we don't do it, who will?
Right.
But I'm sorry, before I let you go, I got a couple minutes left. The future of talk radio. With the internet and every digital world, excited about the future?
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at the news world, which we cover every day and breathe it 24/7, there are constant stories. It is constantly exciting. People are constantly tuning in. I can't tell you how many times I walk down the street and, you know, having been on television for so many years, for more than 2 decades now, I don't say that, I usually say 2 or 3 years, but anyway. So Pat and I'll walk down the street, but I heard you today, and they get excited to hear and share the stories. And I think it's more important than ever, given the way the world is right now, how complex it is.
Does it matter where they hear you, Pat?
No, it doesn't.
Car,
but one of the big things that WABC has identified is that the one thing the internet can't take away from you is if you have live and local programming, people aren't going to find that anywhere else. So that's been a big push, is live and local. And yes, you can listen to it later on a podcast, but yeah, it's good to have a sense of urgency that you want to listen to this now, and that motivates people to turn on the radio.
TV or radio? You.
I love doing both. I've been doing my morning job for 17 years, but the radio thing gives you an immediacy that you don't get. You want to get a good guest, you just phone them.
What's Pat's Picks?
Pat's Picks is my website where my favorite news stories from the newspapers and elsewhere are up every day.
Yeah, it's challenging every day. You got to pick what you like, right?
It's a lot to read.
Well,
He's not all looks, there's brains in there.
Curation is a big part of the internet now. Right? There's a million things out there. Here are 5 that I think you should look at.
Absolutely. So, okay, let's even though we're public broadcasting, it is okay. We're allowed to plug. So, you don't mind I let people know where they can find you?
Absolutely.
Every day from 5 to 6 p.m., your ride home will be made more engaging, more interesting, more challenging, more provocative than ever before. If you tune into 77 AM, WABC, with Pat Kiernan and Rita Cosby. Great stuff every day.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Good to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you,
so
Pat.
wonderful to be with you. Thank you.
Stuff.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Meridian Health, Felician College, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, Cone Resnick, Investors Bank, the New Jersey Education Association, and by the Ohlendorf Center. Promotional support provided by NJ Biz, All Business, All New Jersey, and by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association and its monthly magazine, New Jersey Business. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.
I started feeling this pressure in my chest.
The doctors and the nurses that were attending to me, that they were of such excellence.
They were wonderful. You know, they put my mind at ease.
I owe my life to them. I don't think I really would be here if it wasn't for them.
Because of the way they handled everything, I think that's really why I'm here.
I felt that I was in good hands